What's going on, everybody? This is Patrick from Porter's Unboxings, as you know. And guys, if you're watching this, that means I'm in New York. And let's just get to the reviews. I still have a lot to review. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 reviews left to make. So let's get it on with the best of Sting from 2014, and I think this one came out in 2015, so this will be a review next. But the best of Sting I got for $10. I think this is the band cover because of this picture right here. That's not Sting, I don't think. But you got Hogan and Sting, Surfer. So WCW Monday Nitro with the Scorpion and with the Bat. Him winning the NWO Championship or the World Title. So you got Crow Sting, Surfer Sting, and Wolfpack Sting. You got red, white, and yellow. So let's go over the matches here. You got Blade Runners versus Brett Wayne, Sawyer, and Sean O'Reilly. Sting and Rick Steiner versus Mike Rotundo and Ron Simmons versus Ric Flair for the NWA Championship versus Stan Lane versus Butch Reed versus Mike Rotundo, Ron Simmons versus Great Muta versus Ric Flair again versus Dutch Mantle, Disc 2 versus Nikolai Volkov, and Great Muta versus the Steiner Brothers versus Vader. Barry Windham and Ricky Steamboat and Dustin Rhodes versus the Dangerous Alliance versus Diamond Dallas Page versus Barry Windham versus Stunning Steve Austin versus Ric Flair versus Arn Anderson. Sting and Macho Man versus Nasty Boys versus Sting becomes a free agent versus Hollywood Hulk Hogan at Starrcade. Lex Luger versus Hulk Hogan and Macho Man versus Kevin Nash versus Scott Steiner. Sting and Kevin Nash versus Harlem Heat. Sting, Warrior, and Bret the Hitman Hart. Sting and Warrior versus Bret Hart and Hollywood Hogan. Sting versus Bret Hart. Sting versus Macho Man. Sting versus Booker T. Sting versus Jeff Jarrett at 2 out of 3 Falls. Sting, Booker T, and Goldberg versus Jeff Jarrett and Canuck. And on the final Nitro, Sting versus Ric Flair, March 26, 2001. So a very good set here. The best of Sting came out in 2014. Against an army of shadows lies the Dark Warrior, the purveyor of good, with a voice of silence and a mission of justice. This is Sting. Woo! So, this has been the best of Sting. This has been Patrick from Porter's Unboxings, as you know. And guys, I'll see you in 10 days. Peace.